up because you're going to hear a fantastic story. But the funny part is I never rehearsed it. I never talked to the person. Sometimes I'm really good friends with them. Sometimes I don't know them so well. So I always, as I'm getting ready, I'm like, what am I even going to say? What am I going to ask them? So this one's going to be super fun. Um, and this girl that has agreed to chat with us this morning and her husband, Daniel, are precious. And I'm the mushy one in the group. So forgive me, but they are precious. They are smart. They are, I love their energy and their attitude. I'm so grateful. That's the beauty of what we do is we're always looking for people to join our team. And then we get to create lifelong relationships. There's people in this community. I've been here 7 years, and there's people that have been here longer than I have, Antonio being one of them. And we're still here, like, and we show up. We do an online mastermind too on Wednesdays. If you ever want to join us, I'll tell you about some of our local offices at the end. But do I have to remind anybody to come? No. This is pretty incredible. So I love it. But this couple, they're so inspiring. They're pretty new in the community. I think they joined in October, and they came to a regional conference that we hold, which was in South Florida, which was pretty incredible. So we're just going to start. And I have a little bit of a new twist on this, but I want to pull them out and let them say hello. And then I'm just going to start questioning and answering, and they're going to answer, and we're going to do a little Oprah Winfrey style interview. And I'm so grateful to them. Good morning, Karina and Daniel. How are you guys?
We're good. Good morning to everybody.
Good morning. I
Hi.
hope everybody's awake because I'm
Yes, we are. And hey, guys, grab your coffee or your tea. This
Yes.
is coffee and good conversation. So, thank you so much for joining us. You guys are, and I say this a lot. He was teasing me. He's one of our instructors. We were all together in Orlando, and I'm like, they're my favorite. They're my favorite. He's like, everyone is your favorite. Like, you guys are one of my favorites. And you know what I say to him is, how can I not have a lot of favorites? So when guests are new, I say, just hang out. They're going to be your favorites too.
Yeah.
Just wait. There's so many incredible people here. But what I'd like to start out with is tell me a little bit about you guys. I don't really know a lot. I mean, I know, and I would love to know, and I don't usually do it this way, but tell me a little bit about you, where you're from, your family, whatever you want me to know, both of you, and where you were in your life when you found us. Just kind of a little, let's get up to speed, but then I'm going to take you back a little and go, tell me about when you were a little girl, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what we're going to do, but it's going to be amazing. So tell us a little about yourself.
Ladies first.
Aw.
Where do you want me to start, Debbie?
Well, I want to know, your, I guess the question would be for everyone in context, and then I'll start asking my normal questions, is when you found our community, because obviously you're interested in real estate investing, financial literacy, creating a better way for your life. All of us are.
Yeah.
But where were you? I believe that you had already dabbled in real estate, or maybe you have a short-term rental that you had for, like, I don't know that part of your story.
So when I came from New York about 7 years ago, as I was searching for an apartment, I had my folder that had all my resumes, because I really took a leap of faith leaving Florida. And I started giving out my resumes wherever I was looking for an apartment. And there was this nice lady. She couldn't make it today, but her name is Tiffany. She got me started in the industry in property management. So I became one of the leasing agents, and I did that for about 7 years.
Okay.
Yeah, so that I just fell in love with property management. The people, different people that you would meet every single day. Every single one of them had a story on why they were looking. I had people coming in like, oh, I got divorced and I need an apartment like that. And people, just and I kept in contact, and I still keep in contact to this day with all of my residents. So
Oh, wow, that's
y-
awesome.
yeah,
Yeah.
community is really has helped me a lot throughout the years. So
So
um
where in New York are you from?
Brooklyn. So
Okay.
I was born in Lima, Peru, and I came to the States when I was
Ah,
3 years old.
3, okay. And
Mm-hmm.
so what about you, Daniel? Where are you from New
Uh,
York too?
no, no. On the contrary, I was actually I was born in Venezuela, but I also
Oh,
came to the States when I was 3. Yeah, it's
okay.
it's weird,
Where?
That's cool. And
but
where did you go to in the States? Where was your first place to go?
Mississippi.
Wow.
Yeah, I know
Okay.
it's weird, but it taught me a lot living in the state of Mississippi for a while. But I knew that as soon as I was old enough to move out, that I moved out of the state completely.
Okay.
I
And
just needed
so,
it was not my environment. So I guess immediately after Mississippi, I lived in California for few years. I joined the military. I was in the
okay.
army for 7.5 years. But I was stationed in the desert over there by California. So that was a nice trip for 3 years of my life.
Well,
But
I'm sure everybody is wondering, like, how did you two find each other with all of this? It sounds like you were far apart.
oh no, we were worlds apart. And
Yeah.
but we found each other in Florida, actually.
Okay.
We met in downtown Florida. Um
Through a
Orlando?
yeah,
mutual coworker,
yeah.
actually. And then from there, I wasn't even looking for anything at all. I was like, oh, hey, how you doing? Kind of thing. Like, I met him, and then we didn't speak until months later.
Yeah. I invited her dancing, and that's how I swooped in with my dance
Ah.
moves.
So, so when you came to Florida, what brought you from California to Florida? Where you did,
Uh, Honestly, I have no idea. I literally woke up one morning in California and was like, you know what? I've already seen all of California. I thought about moving to Texas, but Florida just seems a little bit nicer, a little bit warmer, more beaches. So
mm-hmm.
I just moved to Florida. I didn't have any family. I had like distant family in Miami, but nobody I really kept in touch with. So I'm a Sagittarius, so that I can pick up and go like for, for myself, but not
Nice.
anymore.
Yeah. Nice. So, well, and Karina, from having conversations with you, I think that you mentioned to me that your family has properties. So you must have grown up in that type of um
Um,
environment or
we didn't get our first property, so we're a very humble family. My dad came to the States when I was 1, so I was still in Lima, Peru, and he started from the bottom, like selling bread, making pizza. Um,
oh,
he did that
I
for many
love
years,
it.
and his first time that he went to school, it was to learn English. And from
Okay.
there, he worked himself up to his master's, and then he became a teacher in New York for a very long time.
Wow.
Yeah, so we got when I was in high school, so we got our first property in New York. It was a 3-story building with a basement, and they were able to rent it out, to other renters. And one of the apartments, that's where still today my parents live at. So we started out from there. So I was like, I think I was like about 16 when they got that property. And then my sister, when she was older, I have an older sister and older brother. So my
Okay.
sister got a property in Connecticut, of
You're the
course, with the
baby.
help with the family. And these are all properties that we did it traditionally. We had to qualify and all that stuff.
Ah,
So total we have about 3 homes and up north, 2 in Connecticut and 1 in New York. And
that's so
then,
cool.
yeah, and then I bought my first home before Renata's. I bought my first home in 2019 with the help of my dad.
And that's in Florida?
That's
Yeah.
in
Because what?
Florida.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I didn't even know what I was getting myself into. It was for the purpose of me living in it. But
Okay.
then I realized I bought a house in the community that they allowed short-term rentals. So I started thinking. So
Ah,
yeah, so I turned it into a short-term rental, like it's in all the platforms, Airbnb, VRBO, booking.com. So and it's been doing great. So and then
Yeah.
I never looked back. But we like Orlando, so we prefer to stay in Orlando. We do most of our activities here. So we have
okay.
an apartment right now.
Nice. Okay. So, all right, I'm gonna flip flop, keep us moving target. So Daniel, so you came to Florida and you're like, I've seen California. Let's go see what Florida has to offer. You
Right.
guys met through a coworker. What kind of, when I guess you were getting out of the military.
Yeah.
So tell me a little, were
So I
you
went
interested
to,
in real
yeah.
estate or you were
Oh,
just
definitely.
okay.
So, when I went to Florida, I joined the Florida National Guard to complete the rest of my military contract. But
Okay.
being that it's once a weekend, a month, I transitioned from, because I was a tank mechanic in the military. So I just
Okay.
transitioned that into a diesel mechanic working on semi trucks here in Orlando. I've been with the company for about 6 years now, at a good, it's a good paying job, but being in the military, it takes a toll on your body,
Yeah.
definitely. And so I am disabled vet as well, and knowing that I probably won't be able to do this for the rest of my life, I started looking at other options. But when Karina introduced me to Renatas and told me about Renatas, and then whenever I went to the conference over there in Fort Lauderdale, I was just like, man, I wish I could go back in time and just tell my younger
Oh,
self about this a lot sooner. Like, but
yeah.
definitely, it was an eye opener for me. And we were talking. I was like, babe, we have to do this. We have to start this now before, it's not really too late, because you can start it at like whatever age you want in life.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
if you have if someone tells you something and it all makes sense, why not do it? Like, just
Yeah.
jump into that opportunity like 100% and try to accomplish it.
That is awesome. Well, I want to say thank you for your service and I appreciate very much so. And I love hearing the story. So you guys, so here you are. And there I have so many questions. We're just going to bounce around. But so how did you find us, Karina? How did you find our community, our real estate investing community? Were you looking or
I was
you
looking. I wanted to know more about strategies since I
okay?
already was in property management for a while. That was only a little tiny sector from what real estate investing is, you know? So I went on meetup.com and I found TGIF. And then that's where I met Aaron. I went on the Thursday night and I met
Uh-huh.
everybody else. I met Jacob, Jorlyn, so Aaron was very nice introducing me to the community. And then, I wasn't sure everything that Renata's offered at that point, but the more that I spoke to Aaron and the team, I said, oh, okay, you guys don't only do real estate, but you guys help people get financially stable, to be quite honest, and they help you build that foundation, and a lot of financial literacy education, which is
Yes.
what we wanted and what we needed at that point.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
I started
That
looking more into
is
it, and then it's good stuff. It's good stuff.
how
And
long
Karina,
did it take you to when was the first time you met us or in our team in Orlando?
It was, I believe in October. I want to say middle of October. I went to the first meeting, and then I just started coming to the meetings, and I did my second exposure was the property tour. I thought that was
Okay.
amazing. I didn't even know people do this stuff. Like, oh, we want to see a broken down property and see what they turn it into. Like, that's awesome. I never been in
Yeah.
the middle of that. So that was quite impressing to me. And we talked about numbers and how they acquired it and all these strategies that I wasn't aware of,
Yeah.
and it just intrigued me to learn a lot more.
That is amazing. I love that. Yeah, property tours are really fun, especially if you, because
Yeah.
when I found the community, I didn't know anything about real estate. So that was an unusual thing too. For me,
Yeah.
like, oh,
Mhm.
Yeah. So I kept
hanging
getting
out in a broken down
involved.
property.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I kept getting
Well,
involved in all the events, and I just kept
I
participating and stuck with it. And then after like maybe 4 exposures, I said, I want to try this. I had enough. I don't want to see anymore. Let's start."
And that's when I
Mm.
told her, I was like, well, if you're gonna start real estate investing, you have to do it 100%. You have to you have to be completely focused, your whole attention, like just focus on Renatus. And that's when she made the big jump in the end of November.
Yeah, with the
I
classes.
heard that. Yes, I want to talk about that but go ahead and
Yeah.
then I'll take you guys back.
Write it down so you won't forget.
Yes, I always have a pen when I'm doing this. My thoughts are everywhere. I love it.
Yeah. So where was I? Where we left off?
I needed to write your thought down too. Well, no, so I heard, just interrupt me if it comes back to you. So one day, so okay, hats off to you both because sometimes I meet a lot of people. Sometimes I meet people that are scared to get out of their own way. I've been that person before. And I just love the fact that you found us in October and then you came, I know because I ran the regional conference was November 4th and 5th. So as I'm putting the dates together going, wow, they took action. That was a major financial commitment. That was, you really didn't even know who we were too well. You're like, I
No, it's when you have that feeling, like when you meet somebody, you already have that energy. And I positive energy is what I was looking for. So it just helped me make that leap of faith. So
yeah,
after a couple of meetings, I spoke to Aaron, and Jason actually signed me up.
yeah,
Jason was my enroller, and I talked to Daniel about it. I told him about regionals that was happening. I believe in November that it happened, correct?
yeah.
Um,
November 4th and 5th. I remember it
yeah,
well.
yeah, it
Yeah.
was a really fun training. You get to meet all these investors that are actually doing what we're actually studying. And I like that you can study and then you can kind of like implement it right away.
Yeah,
So when we first started, we were very interested in velocity banking. So it's
yeah, I want to hear about that.
yeah, so
So,
classes were actually teaching us how to manage our money differently from what we were taught growing up.
Mhm.
You're taught to go to school, get a good education, and get a good job. And
and get some
now,
credit card debt. No.
yeah, I get some credit card debt to build that credit. But oh my gosh, I had so much debt when I was 18. I'm 38 right now, but when I was 18, I had debt because I saw a credit card and I was like, "Oh, let me swipe it. Oh, I want to buy this. I want to buy that." I don't know anything about it. So yeah, the classes actually we both sat down and we started analyzing all of our debt, and then we just followed really what the classes told us to do. And we looked at each other, okay, I really want to focus on this. So we saw, at least before going into it, we saw the cash flow that we had left. So we were like, we can actually play with this. So, and then we decided that I was going to quit my job. So I quit my job on November 30th. And I
That
just
is incredible.
I studied, I studied, I studied, and I told Daniel, as he's at work, I'm like, okay, babe, this is what we're gonna do next. So we're kind of like that. So he's actually my learning
Aw,
partner. So he has access to the classes and he listens
good.
to it whenever so often when he can.
Yeah.
Was
So
that the first class that you took was velocity banking?
I took the genius classes.
Okay, yeah, that's good to kind
Yeah,
of get your learning mindset on.
Yeah.
That's
yeah. The
it,
genius classes, for anybody that doesn't know, it's classes how it teaches you how you learn, how you pick up your information, how you can retain the information. So with that information, you can go at your pace, but then, you know, understanding it, like
Hmm.
you'll have to keep on, you know, repeating it and repeating it. So it
yeah, when they
guides you
first
how to learn.
it's
So
so cool when they first introduced that to us. That's one of the things about our community that I've learned over 7 years and love is if our CEO and founder sees something that's going to be beneficial or of value, he'll bring it to us. And he
yeah,
vets everything. So it's not like we're just listening to somebody who decided to do something one time and get on YouTube and be a coach. No,
Yeah.
our, our people are vetted before they get in front of us. So that's cool. I did not know that. That's cool. And talking about the velocity, well, I want to make a comment too. When I heard, I still didn't know you very well. I loved both of you at regionals. Was so glad you were there. But then I remember you got on one of our, because we have online meetings for you guys that don't know, and we have live. We have put together a cool little schedule with our team is TGIF, Thrive, Grow, and Invest for Your Future. So we have something that everybody, I mean, we'll keep you busy if you don't have anything going on in your life, which is not, I know we all do. There's something to do every day from study groups to Coach Gavin to our mastermind. Like you're not alone.
yeah,
So, and even if TGIF something, there's people like in Hawaii. So if you're up in the middle of the night or something, you can get on the calendar and go, oh, let me see what they're up to.
yeah.
So
Wow.
anyway, so did you see Devin do velocity banking
Yes,
on Wednesday?
yes, I was just about to mention him. So when I got to
Okay.
know the team in Orlando, they mentioned, hey, about the velocity banking class. It was instructed by Devin Colon. And I met him. We text back and forth to this day, and I asked him a lot of questions, and he's so helpful.
Yeah.
So at that point I realized, okay, the instructors are just like normal people like us, you know what I mean? They come from humble backgrounds, and Devin was, person that I relate. We're both from New York, so we kind of like understood our language and each other. So we're peoples, the way he calls me.
Nice. So would you recommend that anyone that we meet out there, whether they think or know that they want to do real estate investing,
Yeah.
would you recommend that anyone get on that velocity banking just to get a taste of what we have here?
The very first time that I saw
Oh
that
yeah.
class, it completely blew my mind. Like, how? What? I
Yeah.
didn't know this. Like, you don't know what you don't know, right?
Yeah.
So for the people who may not know, tell them what is velocity bank, just a short little, what does that mean?
Velocity banking is a strategy on building your,
Cash
I want to say, your cash flow, finding your cash flow that you thought you might have never had, finding that cash flow and building it from there, but in a different way. How do I explain? Um, so do you want me to go into detail
Well,
or?
no, just like incorrect, what I usually will tell people is it's a way to pay off your debt,
Correct.
amortize debt or
It's a strategy
uh
to help you pay off your debt much faster.
Yeah.
right,
A lot
So
faster.
you
free
let
up cash flow that
Mhm.
so what's interesting is like Devin, who has been here just a few months longer than me. So he's one of the people that I don't have to remind to show up. And we met each other in the beginning, we were at a meeting in Tampa and I was still living in Atlanta then. So he's pretty cool, but paying off a car note, a 5-year car note in 11 months is what really sparked his passion for that. So the difference, well, a lot of times what I'll say to people too is the difference between lines and loans. So, but you guys probably have a wonderful perception of that. So as you get started, you took the Genius class, you're like, okay, I have this property. And kudos, I'm just so impressed. I didn't even finish my sentence because I got so excited, but I was really touched when Karina came on one of our online meetings and said, my husband and I discussed this and I quit my job and I'm going to full time and I'm going to really dig in. I was like, oh my gosh, that just touched my heart. I was like, first of all, what an incredible husband she has and what an incredible couple they are to work together and really do this. Very
Yeah.
impressive, very inspiring. And for everyone out there, I know that's not possible for everyone. I'm not suggesting that everybody follow, but just these are the kinds of stories that we get to hear. So I'm super excited and impressed. And so let's go back. As you get started, you took the Genius class. How
Mhm.
did you go down the path? Obviously, you have different things you want to do in real estate investing.
Mhm.
And there's so many, we have every strategy you could possibly imagine in our toolbox.
Yeah.
How were you thinking, I'm going to free up some cash flow first? Or, sometimes people come into our community and they're like, we got to fix our credit. We do have the foundational things. So you're learning how to raise money. So tell me a little bit about that path for you guys. You took the Genius class, you're getting serious, whichever one of you wants to.
So we wanted, in order to start something, I guess, in a successful manner, you have to have a really strong foundation that it sits on. And before we dove straight into either wholesaling or fix and flips, we wanted to get our eggs in a row. We wanted to make sure our finance was how we learned the education, how it sticks to us, the best way to do it. That's why we did the Genius courses, and then also the velocity banking is so we can get our finances right, increase our cash flow, learned how. I think somebody was leaving a something on the chat, how the way wealthy people do, basically managing their money the way the wealthy people do. Once we know how to manage our money and in that manner, then we can start. We're now starting to do the actual investing part, the portion of it. Being that we already have a rental property, we started to we noticed things that we are adjusting to, so that way that property is just sitting there providing passive income.
Mhm.
And now we're looking into expanding our portfolio, acquiring more properties, because I guess the end game of everything of real estate investing is having enough passive income, right? Getting out of the rat race is having
Yes.
enough passive income so that well, that we're living stress free from any financial
And we get to spend
struggles.
more
Yeah,
time with each other.
exactly. More
Priceless.
more time in dance classes and
That sounds amazing. I want to come. Nice. That sounds amazing. Well, I that is really when we bring on a new community member and a new student, that's what I wish all of them is to see the value in building that foundation.
Yeah,
And I'm super impressed with both of you. That is amazing.
I do.
So, mhm.
Sorry to cut you short,
No,
Debbie.
honey, go ahead.
But
This is
I
about
do
you.
I do want to mention with the short-term rental that I have, it was making its own cash flow before Renata's, but
Right.
now Renata's with regionals, for example, it kind of opened their eyes with what you already had. So we had, bless you, babe. So we had the short-term rental and it Renata's will also teach you how to make that a cash flowing machine.
Yeah.
And we're working on setting up a little flyer inside of the home with a QR code. Hey, is anyone
Nice.
interested in, seeing how this works, how short-term rental works? So
Nice.
it's a lot of very good ideas to add on to that short rental, just so we can make people aware,
Yeah, maximize it.
yeah,
exactly.
That's incredible. So that sounds like that was another eye-opening thing about our community.
Yeah.
There's so many, the sky is the limit. And just to tag on to what Karina just said, we have something in our community, if you've not heard of it, or if you're in the community and you haven't explored it, or you're a guest, but we call it the wealth cycle. And it is a way. So we're looking for people to join us. We're looking for people who want to roll up their sleeves, just like these two. Everybody's path and story is different. But people who want to do something different, and we aren't going to keep it to ourselves. We're not going to be selfish, because everyone needs hope out there. So that's super, super cool. So you guys want to hang out and learn about that wealth cycle and how that works. But we are always looking to expand our team, because now this is the beauty of this. And I, again, mushy, but do you know how much more my life is enriched because these two said yes? And now I get to get on Zooms with them. They get to inspire me. I almost cry saying that, but this will be a story for another day, but I've got story after story after story on this.
Yeah.
Hence, that's where coffee and conversation came from.
Yeah.
So that's, if you're thinking about that, or if you know anybody who might be interested, we would welcome everybody that wants to come in here and step up, and let's do something together. So that's super cool. And that is very.
I have a very good friend of mine. She's actually online now. Her name is Zareta.
Hi,
But
Arabia.
she's probably gonna kill me later. But Zareta, I've known her since high school. And just up to recently, we reached back out to each other, and her husband were doing a fix and flip all by themselves. And
Wow.
I was listening to her like, oh my gosh, you can do this, or you can do this. But yeah, she's really a good friend of mine, and she'll be excellent to this community.
Nice, Zareta. Hi, Zareta. That's awesome.
Uh,
Yes, I can't wait until I'm talking to her on coffee and conversation. So don't freak out, Zareta. I'll give you some time. I love it. That's what we're all about. So, okay. So let's talk about you took your path, your journey, you took the genius classes. Give me a little, hi, baby.
oh.
Either.
Yes. He likes his
He
attention.
likes attention. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm a new dog owner myself, and mine just got spayed. So she is down here whimpering. Yes. So
Okay.
she's a sweetie. Oh, so cute. How long have you guys been married? I forgot to ask you that.
We got married in July of 2021.
Okay.
We were supposed to get married in 2020, but the COVID.
Yeah.
That year, yeah.
Everything got weird
That
then.
year, yeah.
And then we
I
had
remember that
actually
year.
in Orlando. Our wedding was in Orlando. It was called Paradise Cove. It was like a huge lake with like a wooden, it was like wooden,
Oh, you call it a
how do you call that?
oh my gosh. Pavilion.
It was like a big, huge
Okay.
pavilion, and we were looking all like definitely to be outside, but it was just in case if it rained, we can go there.
Right.
Yeah, it
Right.
was just here in Orlando. It's beautiful.
It's really nice.
Nice. I know I saw some pictures, or I think there's one picture of you guys in a wedding dress. We weren't wearing a wedding dress, Daniel, but Karina was.
I mean, you never know. I could have.
Oh my goodness, that is so awesome. So let's talk a little bit about your path of, okay, so you took Genius, you're thinking about all these different financial literacy.
Mhm.
Help us, let's tell everyone, however you want to share, how did you get in applying things to free up this cash flow? I mean, did you what was the next class you took? Or tell me how that worked, because
So
I want to know.
the beginning classes of the velocity banking. So I purchased the essentials.
Mhm.
The essentials is basically all your foundations of how to get started. First
Mhm.
lets you
And all those acquisition strategies too.
all those
So
acquisition
cool.
strategies. Yeah, I haven't finished that quite yet,
Mm.
but I really want to dive in after now this velocity banking thing. After like 5 months, we were able to free up a lot of debt that totaled $1,600. We didn't even think
Wow.
that was possible. So when that reality set in with us, I'm like, okay, these classes are true. These classes are helping.
Yeah.
It's not a scam, people.
I love it.
Yeah. So now because we have that short-term rental, now I really, really want to dive in the short-term rental area because I'm
Right.
good at it. I'm good talking to
Yeah.
people and good at analyzing my numbers and how my property cash flows. So I want to acquire more properties, and according to Renata's, there's strategies that you could acquire property not use using your own money. So
Right.
we want to have, our goal is like to have how many houses you want to have like in the next 5 years or maybe 3 years.
I want to have enough where I can quit my job. How about
Yes.
That's the end goal.
Yes.
End goal.
that?
But we
Yes.
want properties cash flowing for us,
Nice.
and we really want to get out of this rat race, and I'm gonna help Daniel get out of that.
Nice. That gives chills. I love it. Well, I have no doubt that you will do that. And I also, I guess, question for you, what I know that you sounds like you're very savvy, both of you, and you bought the home and then you decided, oh, short-term rental. So you are definitely resourceful, think out of the box, all of the things that are helpful when people are trying to accomplish things like this. But what do you, I guess if I were to say, what if you hadn't found us? Obviously, I would put my money on you no matter what, but what are the differences? I mean, it sounds like it's been very instrumental in helping you spring into a place that maybe you weren't even sure.
Funny story. Right before I made my decision to lock in something with Renata's, I was going to take my realtor classes that Monday.
Ah, okay.
And I was going back and forth with Aaron, and I said, do I need a license to do real estate investing? He's like, no, 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 you don't. I'm like, oh, okay. So I know realtors that are my friends and very close friend of mine, and they were struggling, especially in this crazy market that's just going up and down. They were struggling in selling homes, and that was kind of like what they live for day and night, and trying to get in contact with all these leads. And I saw this happening. I was like, I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know if I want to try to find someone to buy this house, like, and not
Right.
not be successful at it. So they were really struggling.
Mhm.
And I made the decision of calling Monday morning, and I had to cancel with the instructor before I actually stepped foot in the classroom, because otherwise I won't get my money back.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. So my father-in-law was nice enough to lend me that money so I can start on the realtor courses. But then I
Aw.
called them and I told him, I think he's actually online, or
No,
maybe
no,
not. He stepped out.
he was.
He was online. But
Aw.
I called him and I told him, look, I decided I'm not gonna go for my realtor classes, and I wanna see if you'll be okay if I use this money towards the Renata's classes that I really want to take. And he's like, yeah, absolutely. That was your birthday present.
Aw.
That's fine. Because my birthday was in September. So not October. That's when I started with Renata. So I used a little bit of that money to get my classes at least started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
I love that story.
Yeah, so if I didn't know about Renata's, I'll probably be a realtor right now.
Probably.
Oh, I love that story. That is so awesome. So
Yeah.
is there anything you want to share with the group about your path to, as you started looking at your debt? There's probably going to be some questions. I'm going to open up for questions in just a few minutes, but is there any,
Yeah.
anything you want to share about that in case people are interested in doing the same thing? You don't have to spell it out or teach anyone anything, but
Um,
obviously there's a process
yeah,
to,
so we had amortized debt.
okay,
Amortized debt is just debt that you pay that bill and then you just never see that money again,
Yeah.
yes.
So Daniel finished paying his car note,
Nice.
which was about, how much was your car in total that you had to pay off?
Like high 20s.
Like
Not
what,
sure.
27,
Yeah,
28,000?
28, 27.
So we were able to get rid of $28,000 and
Wow.
just get rid of that car note in maybe about 3 months.
So
Um,
your story's better than Devin's. Okay. I got a new story.
yeah, it technically, when we started the strategy on how to get rid of that debt, it took about, I want to say, yeah, it took about like a 45 days, almost 60 days to be able to pay that off.
Yeah.
So we used a HELOC strategy, and at the same time we also paid off our wedding.
Yes.
We had so much debt for the wedding, and it was a large monthly payment. So
Everything was
yeah.
everything was a large monthly payment. But
Wow.
we used the tool. We used the HELOC tool to help us free up and increase our cash flow. Um, so we took advantage of the fact that we did have a vacation home, and it was, while it's getting paid for itself doing the short-term rentals, and it's also
Right.
building up a lot of equity. So we used the tools that we learned about in the velocity banking to help us get rid of I think three large debts
That
that were really taking most of our cash flow.
Yeah, and
Wow.
that totaled up to 1,600. So we were able to get rid of those large monthly payments that, to be honest, Daniel was paying for it like all on his own, and it was really a toll for both of us. So
That is life changing. Life changing.
yeah,
Literally, I love it. So it's, there's so many, anything is possible if you
yeah.
just
And
show up and
each of those amortized loans,
Mhm.
the interest rate was just ridiculous. So we would pay the monthly, and then it would just the principal would just never go down. It'll probably go down maybe $30 or
Wow.
$40 after you pay a $600. It was so bad because we really did start doing the calculation how much money we were losing every month of just paying off the minimum, you know. But yeah, it's just another way how now we're cash flowing our money. We're
Yeah.
basically getting paid, and then we're working on it with our HELOC. So once we get rid of the HELOC that we borrowed, we're still in the same living expenses. That didn't affect us at all.
Yeah.
So we're
Right.
still buying our groceries the way that we normally do. We're buying any necessities for the apartment, gas, I don't know what else.
Just living
Yeah.
living expenses.
Just living
Yeah.
expenses, that's one thing that we can't get rid of, obviously, but it's for us to keep going. But then it just helped. The mindset is like totally different. You know what I mean? You're actually putting your money, and you're having your money work for you
Right.
as you're living your life.
Yeah.
So we don't have to worry about these big, large payments that we have to do every month and then end up with zero in the bank. So
That is so fabulous. And so impressed
It's a
because
relief. It's a
It
relief.
really is.
To be honest, it was just so stressful before Renata's and how we were paying this, and just discovering about velocity banking and that strategy, it just helped us. It was a weight off our shoulders. So
I
Yes.
can't wait to see what you guys do
Mhm.
because you are a product of our product. And I can't wait to see as you continue to build your story.
Thank you.
Um,
Thank
that's
you.
life changing, the things that have happened for you. And they happen because you took advantage
Mhm.
of some knowledge and you decided to take action. So that is just beautiful. It looks like we will go ahead. We'll see. Matthew has a question. Hello, Matthew. How are
Matt.
you, honey?
Hey, good morning, everybody.
Hi.
I just got a quick question for you. You said $1,600 that you paid off. Does that mean $1,600 a month? Like you have like $1,600 a month of money going out less? Talk about that, because I think if it's
It
cash
was-
flow, that really means a lot,
Yeah, it was the total, the 1,600 was the total monthly payments that we were spending on the monthly payment for his car. That was about 600. The monthly payment on our credit card, for our wedding that we spent, that was another like 600. And then the other
The
big
other
credit card that
was
we
like
had,
400.
like 400, 450 sometimes. So all of that was what we freed up, and we don't have to worry about those payments anymore.
Yeah, so you lowered your total debt payments by $1,600 a month.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's super powerful. I think, just make sure that's clear for everybody on the call so they understand
Yeah.
too. Because we know it's really made a difference in your world. You guys have an amazing story. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Thank you, Matt.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, gosh, I wish I had heard stories like this years ago. And I'm so grateful that I'm still here and I get to hear story and story and story it's very exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1,600 of cash flow that is now in their pockets.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then Sandra
Absolutely.
says, awesome how working together as a couple in less than 5 months, you have advanced so much financially. Yes, we did. With one class, just one class. Can you imagine? Just one class of velocity banking. But that class is huge. That class
Yeah.
is huge and it's so important. And I feel that anybody who has debt, velocity banking will just help them 100%.
Yes. The first time I watched velocity banking, I was literally because I'm not technically a numbers person, so I've changed a lot with financial literacy. I literally took the class I was inches away from the screen. I was like, okay, I've got to get this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It is life changing. I don't know. Probably a lot of other people could comment on here what I would be doing if I hadn't found this community. I mean, yes, it should have been taught to us in high school. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Most people in our country, unfortunately, don't know. So,
That's why we gotta
um,
save their lives.
exactly.
Like the road team. There's this call every morning at 9 o'clock, and I join when I can. But
Uh-huh.
Scott and Nancy, they really, really elaborate on that. So
Yes, yes, it's providing hope and sharing for sure.
yeah.
There's nothing like it. When
Mm.
I was new and I would listen to Scott every morning, and I still do when I can. And he's like, "We're just going to change America one kitchen table at a time." So, and we can
Yeah.
if we'll just speak up. So, does anyone have any other questions? Because I don't want to hog the show, and I'm just
Mhm.
super impressed and inspired. I will make one comment. Um, it's just amazing to me. This is such an example of how it sounds like so much has changed for you. You would still be fine if you hadn't found us, but oh my gosh, it's like
I
you shot
wouldn't,
out of a rocket ship. And
yeah, I wouldn't have definitely quit my job at all. And especially if I didn't have Daniel by my side. I think I would have probably found Renata's without Daniel.
yeah.
But then my progress would be just a little bit on the slower side because of
Yeah.
course, when you have a 9 to 5, it's just very exhausting. I remember I would leave at 9 o'clock and come back at 7:30,
Oh,
and I
wow.
didn't need to. 5 o'clock hits, I'm already like, I should be already out the door. But anybody that knows me, I kind of like go a little bit above and beyond, and I don't need to. And I wasn't even getting paid overtime either. So, and I didn't mind that because I just love my job. I love helping people and love finding
Yeah.
people. So
That is amazing. That is amazing. Do you have any other strategies that want besides building up your portfolio with the short-term rentals? Do you have any other things you're just maybe down the road, you'll anything?
I want to do I want to acquire a couple of short-term rentals, and then I would like to jump into a buy and hold. So basically,
Just
in a way, short-term rental, you're acquiring the property and I'm holding it. kind of,
yeah,
you know?
yeah. That's just a form of buy and hold, but maybe
Yeah,
a more traditional buy and hold.
it's a form of buy and hold. So I just want to keep on buying and holding
Yes.
until we have the sufficient enough of cash flow where we can both just be spending more time with each other, you know?
Yes, that is awesome. Then Bill Omi would be very proud of that statement. So buy and hold cash flow.
Yeah,
That is awesome.
yes.
So, yeah, I'm excited to see what you guys do. Do we have any other questions? You guys, please feel free to come off of mute or raise your hand. Sorry, my dog is crying.
Oh, thank you, Matthew, for the question. Other than work and family, what are you guys most passionate about? We both love traveling and getting to know places that we didn't even think of or dreamed of to go to.
Yeah.
So yeah, traveling is a big thing for us.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
And
So-
dancing. That's what he said, Matt.
So, yeah, do you have any travel plans next? You know, they're going to announce a leadership retreat when we go to nationals together at the end of the month.
I heard
And
about that.
yeah, so maybe we'll all travel together.
Well, I am going to nationals at the end of the month, so I'm excited for that. So right now, unfortunately, Daniel has to work his job. They wouldn't
I miss you,
give him any
Daniel.
more time off, but yeah, I'll be going, and I'm just so excited. After that, my family actually want to do a trip to Peru. I have 2 grandfathers left that they're super old, and we just kind of want to say our goodbyes.
Aw, that's so special.
So that's going to
How long
happen
has
in
it-
June.
How long have you not been back since you were 3?
Every time I went back to Peru, everybody knew me, but I never recognized them. So
Yeah.
because I came to the States when I was 3, I didn't really remember anybody. I returned when I was 7 years old, 15, 21, but you know.
Yeah. Wow. What
Yeah.
about you, Daniel? Have you been back to Venezuela?
I have not. I have not been back since it's been 27 years.
Wow.
Don't know why I never came back as a kid. My brothers returned like for a visit, but I guess I was just I'm a middle child, so I guess they got the pleasure too. But I mean, I feel like once it gets better over there, because not many people know the situation in Venezuela. It's kind of
Yeah.
rough. So once everything gets better, maybe I'll come visit, go on the beach because I heard they have really nice beaches. We did go to
Yeah.
Aruba. Aruba is basically as close as possible as I could get.
I want to go there. Yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful. I recommend Aruba. It's like ocean blue and green waters is
Ooh.
gorgeous.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Maybe we can see if that can be where our leadership retreat will be held.
Hey,
Oh my God, you guys will love it.
sign me up.
Mhm.
Oh my goodness. That is really cool. So is all of your family here in the US then? Except for your both of you?
Yeah, my parents are still in New York. My older sister is in Connecticut with her 4 kids. I'm trying to get her
Aw.
to, but skeptical. She's very skeptical, so she's
Aw.
intrigued. But you want me to save your life, sis?
Oh, yeah. Plus, she's
Um,
older sister, so
Yeah,
yeah,
and then my older brother, he lives in the city and he's a New York physical ed teacher.
Okay.
My sister's also
Nice.
a teacher, but
Wow.
Bunch
Yeah.
of teachers in her family.
yeah, a
I
lot of
love-
teachers in my family, they wanted me to become a teacher as well.
Well, technically, you kind of are.
I have the
Yeah.
patience with kids, like a lot of patience with kids.
Nice.
But I just not the type to get into in front of a room, which ironically I'm kind of doing right now.
I know. I was just thinking, wait till you see what else we have planned for you in Team TGIF.
Great.
I always say, if you're comfortable, then no, we got to get out.
Yeah.
I myself too, we have to keep pushing out of our comfort zones.
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
So-
Matthew, I am going to keep on teaching people and letting them know everything that I'm learning, because it's really good stuff. Really,
Yeah.
really good stuff.
It looks like there's a question from Joshua. If y'all had to start over, would y'all do anything different?
I probably find Renatas before acquiring the rental that we have now. That way, we probably could have.
It's true.
Yeah, we probably, because getting this property was a roller coaster. Like, we were cleaning this 4-bedroom house by ourselves.
Well, yeah, when we first acquired the short-term rental, I didn't know anything
Nothing.
about like the turnover. Because when it's a short-term rental and you put it in Airbnb, some people stay for 3 days, some people stay for a week. And I didn't know that you can hire a property management company to put it out there for you and make sure that it gets rented.
Yeah.
So I was the one, as soon as somebody left, I was the one going ahead and clean. And I was cleaning that 4-bedroom house for 7 hours.
Wow.
After work, I would
It's-
get to Kissimmee from Orlando. I would get to Kissimmee maybe at 6:30 p.m. And then I will probably work until maybe 1-2 o'clock in the morning. I was exhausted.
Yeah.
Wow.
I
Yeah,
was
that's
exhausted.
a-
I did it about 4 times, and I started Googling. And then I found some property management companies that help me put it out in the market, and then cleaners that come with it.
Yeah.
That
yeah,
is
it's-
huge.
That's one thing that we would do differently, is definitely acquire the tools and the education prior. That way it would have been an easier transition in the beginning, but it does bring some perspective to how much work is actually put into a rental property,
yeah.
and the pros and cons of either owning or managing a house compared to like maybe an apartment or a condo that you can do short-term rentals on.
Right.
So we learn from our mistakes. Everybody learns from
Yeah.
their mistakes, but as long as you're learning and continuously learning, then you're always growing.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was horrible. I was tired. My back was hurting, like
Aw.
really bad because of that. I was scrubbing tubs and toilets. And I'm like, oh my God, it has to be another way.
And it's stressful because you have a deadline of somebody, because a couple of short-term rentals, and I have
Yeah.
one in Beaufort, Georgia. I don't own that one. So you mentioned, are you guys gonna look at acquiring some in that way? I control it.
Possibly.
Yeah.
We would want to have some control of it. I think you
Yeah.
were referring to arbitrage. Arbitrage is
Yes,
basically
yes.
not owning the property, but getting the owner's permission to short-term rental, to put it on Airbnb
Right.
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe 1 or 2 just to see the experience about it.
Yeah,
But then I do think that at any time the owner can either sell and I have to take up my stuff. It's a strategy, but you just have to know the risks and you have to
definitely,
be prepared for them.
Yeah.
definitely. I don't
Mhm.
know if I would do many more of those, but that one sort of fell into my lap. But that thing is, I talk to a lot of investors, and as Matthew Rand likes to say sometimes, like one trick pony type people. And I'm not saying anything negative, but just I like to be open to whatever comes across my desk. And that's what happened, is something came across, and the rent is so under market as I control that property. So it was like I couldn't turn it down.
Mhm.
Oh, could you get the first right of refusal? Are you,
I don't understand
for,
that question.
is that to me or to
Well, to those
Karina?
guys, if you guys, if you guys wanted to lease a place
Mhm.
and do a short-term rental with it, and then if the owner wanted to sell it, could you just have a little agreement that you're the first one that gets to buy it? If,
Yeah, I have
right?
that in mind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we have that in our, in some of our classes, it says that, so,
You
yeah.
know what? Now that you brought that up, Matt,
Mhm.
I was actually going to work with Wendy Shaw on a short-term rental. It was an apartment. It was a one-bedroom apartment, and she told me, she put it on Facebook, and I said, "Hey, I'm kind of interested in that. How does it work?" But my ducks weren't in the road just yet because I was still waiting for my LLC to come through and get approved. So I was still working on the paperwork for my LLC so I can start building the short-term rentals, at least maybe having one or two arbitrage units. And but the timing was bad, like it was something I was so interested, but I had to tell her, no, you can give it to your friend that was also looking for a short-term rental to do with Wendy. So I told Wendy, hold on, let me just wait for this LLC to come through, and then we'll start on it together. So good thing about that I noticed in this community is that people come with deals to you, and you don't have to go out there and you can find it within the community.
Yeah.
And you get opportunities with the community. So that's really cool.
Very cool. Very cool. Do we have any other questions? I know you guys have lots of questions. One of the things that you mentioned about the just deals coming to you within the community, that's so very true. And then even the masterminds, some of the things, if you're a guest here, you may not know, or maybe you're a community member and you haven't participated, but we have mastermind on Wednesday. Matthew runs with us, and an essentials and an advanced, where people, you could bring any, even just a thought, a light bulb has gone off, and then you've got 15, 20 people looking at that with you. Or
Yeah.
the deal or no deal that Bill Omi does for us. They're
Yeah.
so,
Yes.
one of the things I say is, if you will just show up and take your class, and you don't have to be, I've got to do this, I've got to do this, just relax, take your classes, show up, participate in what you can. I feel like 100% things will change and something will happen for someone that chooses to do that. I
Yeah.
don't, do you guys agree?
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely
Yeah.
agree. Matthew says, how have the relationships you have made in the community impacted you? One big one that I really enjoyed was Debbie's story. It's funny. It's a funny story because Debbie, you want to briefly say what really what was really scary, it was funny too, is that she's walking into a property that was so run down, and there was a rat that
Oh
just
my God.
ran over your foot or something like
Oh,
that.
it was horrible.
And then you were so, you were so scared with even acquiring the property at first, and I don't know why. It's like a natural thing for a first timer to be so scared to make those phone calls to the owner,
Yes.
but in a way it was kind of it was so funny, but
It was. If you could have been inside my mind when I was doing that, I was like, I literally thought somebody might need to call someone to come check me out, that I might need an intervention, because I was like, I just had, and I came from such a scarcity mindset to begin with, that when I got the first under contract, and I was like, and I'd take the contract and I'd write something else. No, if it's cloudy one day, I can get out of this contract. I mean, I'm being silly, but and then walking into that property, I just, the whole time I'm like, what am I doing? So that's funny that you remember that, because
Yeah.
I was literally checking, but I'm so grateful, and I would have never, I can say this 100% would have never done that deal or any other deal without this community. I wouldn't have even known to be thinking about trying to do a deal. That's how way off base I was. And I'm like, I was a business owner, but I just had no idea. So I'm so grateful because without the community around me, I pushed through that, and that just was the beginning for me. So again, like I said, everybody's story is different.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I think it's the community part is a huge aspect, is a huge positive thing about Renatas, is because it's not just they give you the education and wish you well and good luck and good fortune. It's the community has constantly has had and is still having Karina's back. Like anything, I know if Karina ever has any questions about literally anything, she has a numerous amount of support and,
Mhm.
and people that she has in her contacts now for anything that she might need.
Mhm.
And I think having that strong support behind um our life-changing decision is a vital thing. We don't feel like it's just us against the whole world. It's
Yeah.
the community itself.
I'll give you an example, and this I've been dealing with for the past 3 days. In my short-term rental, I don't know why, but I'm planning on getting the solar panels for the short-term rental because it has a pool and it consumes so much electricity, so it's needed. I reached out to somebody in the community. Her name is Marty. Thank you, Marty. She recommended a short-term rental home insurance that is just for what I'm trying to do. Because I've searched with so many insurances throughout these past 3 days, none of them are offering insurances for short-term rentals. None of them. And they're like, oh, we're not doing it right now. No, I'm like, okay, thank you. So I reached out to the group chat that we have, and I got in contact with Marty, and Marty recommended one, and I have an appointment with him via Zoom on Monday, so we
Mhm.
can kind of like strategize the policy. So I'm very grateful.
Yeah.
that is amazing. There's so many resources. I feel like together we are so much stronger because that's another exciting thing when we add a new community member, we all have different skill sets. And like I said, sometimes we just fall down. Anyone can fall down. And we were on follow-up last night, Brandon and Matthew and we gave Bill the night off. Can you believe that? And and we're on follow-up and somebody said something about, oh, Brandon being, really forging and pushing the way with the digital marketing and some of the classes in our profits courses on getting out there in social media and funnels and doing a lot of online things. And Matthew said, yes, you've really gone ahead of me on that. And he said, well, I'm going to pull you along with me. And I said, me too, pull me along. And one of our guests said, well, what if Matthew's already been successful? Wait, you need to pull me first. And I said, no, we all go together. We don't, nobody left behind around here. If you just, even if you hide from us, sometimes we'll come find you. What's
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
on?
For
So,
sure. Another relationship in the community was Candace Adams. Candace Adams, I heard her story for the first time in regionals, and she's done over 250 wholesaling when she first started Renatas, and that was very impressive. Very
Very.
impressive. So
yeah.
we after regionals, it was just so much going on. I didn't get a chance to like tap her shoulder or anything, or like, can we talk? But we started communicating on Facebook. Bless her heart, she just got out of brain surgery, so everything thankfully is okay for her.
Yeah, I saw that.
And she's going to national, so I'm excited. I'm like, are you sure you don't want to rest?
Yes.
I'm going. All right. So
So cool.
told me she was going. So she's a very big inspiration too. She has a beautiful home. Did you see her home?
Mm-hmm.
It is gorgeous.
I remember when she first came to Atlanta, which is my hometown,
Yeah.
from, I think she was in Indianapolis. I'm not sure
Mhm.
where she came from, but she's a single mom, veteran. And yeah, I remember when she was looking for the home, she's very impressive. The power of just go out there and do it. She's
Yeah.
definitely got that.
Yeah.
The first time I went to nationals was in 2016, and I've been every year that of course, during COVID, we had to do it online. But I'm excited for you to go because it was almost like you'd be on these meetings and you'd hear these different stories. And for all of you thinking of going or going, and so you had your like favorite stories that inspired you. And so when you actually got there, it's like you're in a candy store. You didn't even know where to go first. Like, oh my gosh, run over here and meet them. And and that is the honest to God truth. It's so amazing. So we are very, very blessed that we are a group of people who want to learn, who want to do better, who want to help, who want to change and take the knowledge. And I'm just grateful for that because
Of
I will
course.
never leave. I'll never go back out there. No, that's scary out there. So, so anyway, well, I'm excited that we're all going to be together at nationals. Do we have any other questions? Because we're getting to the end of our time here, but we have time for questions if you want. Or if you guys have any last comments that you would love for us to know.
Yeah. Hi, Sandra.
Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, honey.
I'm so glad you're part of our community. We met you in regionals, both of you. I love your energy. And from the day that we met you, we realized that you were going to be such a great part of our team. And now you're showing already what you have done in so little time. And a lot of people come and it's like, oh, I haven't done anything. Well, you have to take action. And that's what you have shown as a couple.
Yeah.
I think you should give marriage counselors to some people that have financial problems.
That's a thought.
Yeah.
Because it's great, it's working together. Imagine if you can say, okay, you can stop working and let's make more money. And that's what you did. And I think that is so awesome to be able to stop working and find $1,400 or $1,600 that you said that you found through the velocity banking. So I am really, really happy to have you in the community. Both of you, you are a beautiful couple. I'm so sad that you're not going to nationals because we're so excited about this. When Karina said, "Oh, I'm going to nationals," I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know," but Karina and I, we have like this kind of energy, is similar. We're right, Karina?
Yeah.
Yes. So looking forward to seeing you in nationals. I'm so glad you're part of the team.
Thank
You're
you,
going to go
Sandra.
really far, and we love you both. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sandra.
Aw, thank you, Sandra.
She's
And
really
I love, she's one of my favorites too. I have lots of them, but
yeah.
yeah, that's awesome. Yes, we are going to miss you at nationals, Daniel, but next year and maybe we'll be at the leadership retreat together. I can't wait to see where it is we're going to have. Yeah.
We don't know where we're going yet.
Usually they announce it at nationals. So
Okay.
we'll all hear it together and then
That'd
they
be nice.
usually, open the registration maybe a little bit after that. So, yeah, very excited. So I can't wait to spend some time with you and all of you that are going. But we are at the end of our time. Is there any last comments or do you two have any last comments you want to share with anybody considering who are these people or
Melody asks, any more information on short-term rental, specifically arbitrage? Melody, I haven't dived into the short-term rental classes yet, but with a little bit of the knowledge that I do know because of the short-term rental that I had prior to Renata's, that's I do have some knowledge on that, but I'm sure there's a lot much more. So I haven't let's see, we have 10 full class. Yes, Matthew, I know you have 10 full classes. I'm almost there. Hold on. I'm gonna do it. I promise you I'm gonna do it. And I can't wait to have another coffee and conversation with Debbie and all of you guys here,
Yes.
and then letting you know how that went.
Yes, thank you. Because that was going to be my next comment is, will you come back and keep us
Yeah.
abreast of your journey?
Absolutely.
That
Absolutely.
is awesome. Thank you.
Thank you,
I'm so
guys.
impressed with you guys. I'm grateful to be your friend. I am going to miss you so much, Daniel, but I'm proud of both of you, and you've enriched my life by joining our community. So
Thank
Thank
you,
you, Debbie.
Debbie. Thank you, Maggie.
Thank you guys for the inspiration. I wanted to tell you, you did really good by not becoming a realtor. I am a realtor and it's a struggle right now.
I know I have
Right now
many-
I'm doing it. I'm driving around distributing signs for an open house and I'm sweating and I've had this house in the market for 6 months in Kissimmee and it's not moving and I'm so frustrated and I'm like, you guys are giving me, because I also bought the essentials. I started and I've been studying, but I haven't really taken action. And I'm like, I have to do this. I have to jump into real estate investing. And you guys have been my inspiration today.
Oh,
Thank you.
I'm glad.
you,
Thank
Maggie.
you, Maggie.
aw, we
Maybe
love
we
you
see you
too,
in-
Maggie.
Thank
Maybe we see you in nationals, Maggie.
I know I'm trying to make it, but it's been a little hard right now financially. So I don't know if I'll be able to.
Oh, well, I can't wait to meet you at one point.
All
Yeah,
right.
Maggie is awesome. Thank you, Maggie, for your
Thank-
comments.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Be safe out
Keep
there.
up the great work.
Well,
Yes, thank you, Debbie. Love you.
I love you too, honey. You're one of my favorites as well. So you guys that are guests here and all the community members, we have a property tour in Orlando at 11:30 that'll be online and live. And
I actually think I have enough time to get ready and go and
Okay.
meet you. So, yeah.
okay, awesome.
I thought I
So,
wasn't really
yes.
gonna go. I thought we were gonna like go a little bit farther.
Yeah.
But
No,
yeah,
I
I'll be late maybe a couple of minutes, but that's totally fine. They really didn't expect me to go to the property, so I'm just gonna show up.
You're such a love. Well, if you guys come back, if you're new with us, I want you to come back and hang out with us. Go if you're in Orlando, go see Karina. She's gonna be on her way as soon as I end this meeting. So, and if not, come join us. We have live meetings. We're playing cash flow in South Florida this Thursday. We are playing cash flow in Atlanta and Orlando the next Thursday. We have live meetings. Thursdays are live meeting night. Wednesdays are online. We have meetings in Spanish. We got something for everyone. Tuesday night is Deal or No Deal with Bill Omi that you heard us mention a little bit. He's one of our senior investors. So please come back and vet us out. We're looking forward to getting to know you. And I love you guys dearly. Thank you for spending the morning with me.
Yes,
Debbie.
thank you everybody that came out. We
Yes,
thought maybe
guys.
5 people were gonna show up, but I'm so grateful right now. Thank you, Melody, Jonathan, Zareta, Estelle, Sandy, Donna, Andres, Matthew. Thank you so much.
guys.
We appreciate everybody.
Love you guys.
Love you guys. Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Mwah.